Sky Squad, we are back in the building. I want to thank you guys so much for coming back after our chat about Salt Lake City, because y'all know we about to talk about a show that we are in love with, and we got somebody very special to do that with. If you saw the thumbnail, you already know. You already know who's in the building. Give it up, y'all, for TIANA Harrison. Hey.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Richie Skye. I'm honored to be here.
No, thank you. I mean, I know that you're busy. You got things to do. You moving and a shaking today.
Okay, y'all see me in mom mode. I have been running since 6 a.m. So it's not the glitz and glam today. You're getting the real deal over here.
No, we love it. Beautiful as always, with or without the glam. We don't even need that today. Listen, we got questions for you, okay? Because this show, I just want to say congratulations to you ladies, because I'm a sucker for a real estate show. Okay. And to see women of color in this space, I just think it's so inspiring. And I talked to Tiffany last week, and I was telling her that you guys have inspired me to start my own real estate journey. Oh,
Yes,
oh,
that's
yes. Oh,
awesome.
yes. Yes. So to me, these conversations are so meaningful, and they're really meaningful to the audience as well. I just want to know, how did you get started in real estate? Because we've heard a little bit about your backstory, and I wasn't prepared for that conversation that day, like we're in the scene, but it just kind of came out of nowhere when you talked about your background and then how you got into it. Can you kind of give us a little bit more perspective on how you fell into real estate?
Yeah, so this, you know what, my journey is kind of full circle. I think that to a degree, everybody wants to search for home or a place that they call home, whether that be in another person or where that be a physical place. And people should take pride and have an affinity for whatever home means to them. And so when I thought back on my foundation and where I had come from and the things that I had been through, and just wanting to be great due to the trauma that I experienced, it's like I wanted to overcome those insecurities. And so without going too much into it, because we still have a next season and we'll delve into all of that.
We love the tease. We love that. Okay.
So without going too much into it, the reason that I really wanted to get into real estate is because I love architecture. I love the design of homes. I love Atlanta. And I was working at a property management, I was working as a property manager in high-rise condominiums. And people were coming in and going out, and I would meet real estate agents. And then I got married. And then I got pregnant, and both myself and my husband were going to a 9-to-5. And we had a conversation that one of us had to venture out. And staying within the field of real estate, I said that, okay, I think I can do residential sales. And when my daughter turned 1, my husband had been taking her to all her doctor's appointments, but I wanted to be available for things like that, and it provided the ability for me to structure my life. People think that real estate is all about being flexible. Oh no, not when the demand is there, but we're able to structure our lives and our schedules to so that I could be available for doctor's appointments and now recitals and now baseball and soccer games. And so I took that leap from property management into residential sales, and I dabbled into commercial real estate as well. So that's how I got started.
Okay. Did you ever picture yourself? Well, before I go there, I got another kind of real question for you. Do you think that your background in property management gave you, I don't know, maybe like a little bit of a leg up in terms of like when you went into this journey with real estate?
I would say that it did, because it gave me perspective, especially luxury wise. And because I was a property manager throughout the recession, then it gave me insight as into how the market really works. When the market is down, then is there a demand for buyers at certain price points. You know, as a property manager, I was able to meet people who were purchasing higher end homes. So I knew what it was that they were looking for when it came to buying, or when it came to who was representing them as a sales agent. So that was helpful.
Okay, okay. And I heard you say that your husband and you had to make a choice about who was going to venture out. How how did he feel about you being the one to do it? Because that's not an easy decision.
It's not an easy decision, but mind you, my husband is a former NFL player.
Hey.
So he had retired from the league and then entered into corporate America. I had been involved in corporate America since graduating from college. So it was as if he was saying, yeah, absolutely. And then, you know, whatever he ended up figuring out that he wanted to do, eventually he would do. But now he's 10 years in, he's a general manager of a dealership in the Atlanta area, and he has enjoyed his journey. We don't know if that will lead to him buying his own dealership or what have you, but he's just enjoyed watching and being supportive of my entire real estate venture, you know?
Okay. Okay. But next steps for you ended up being this show. How did that come about for you?
I would say over the past 7 to 8 years, I had been getting proposals to do a reality show, whether it had been Housewives or an HGTV type scenario with another friend who was in the industry, or just an ensemble cast show. Some of those things didn't work out. Some of those things just weren't aligned with who I am. And so when I was approached by one of the executive producers, she said, I'm really thinking about this. And I was like, I don't know. Because I have 2 children now. I do have a husband. I'm very protective of my people. And so doing a reality show, sometimes you can exploit or put certain things out there that you don't necessarily want the world to dive into. Because I'm so protective, I had reservations about joining a cast of women. And so when I was approached by Monique, and she's like, I want to do this. She's one of the executive producers. I said, well, you know, here's a list of people. Go see if this will make sense, because they tried to do a real estate show before, it was good. But I said, in order for it to be a success, you have to put the right group of people together. And out of the 6 of us, I believe 5 of the ladies were on that list.
Okay, okay. Who did you know going in? We know you knew Tiffany, because when y'all first appeared on the screen, I was like, are they sisters? Just because y'all, and it was more about the way you guys related to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys just had this easy energy, and you guys felt like you had known each other for years. Did you have similar relationships with anybody else, or somewhat similar relationships?
I can't say that I had similar relationships with anybody else. Not the relationship that I share with Tiffany, because we do have so many commonalities. We're moms, we're wives, we're our husbands. Her husband is in the construction and development field now, but he used to work in the car industry just like my husband. She has multiple children. I have multiple children. It just made sense. And we were doing the same things. And then I was closing with her early in my career. And as you'll see from the show, I like to basically align my relationships, whether personal or business, to fit my values, because we're an extension of each other. And so when it comes to my other castmates, no, not as close, but we did know of each other. I think, and it's funny because I knew Robin the least, but I remember Robin from 10 years ago when I was a property manager. So when she says that she's been an agent or now a broker for 20 years, it's true. I recall her coming through my building and representing clients. So,
okay. So when you first started this, did you know that you were going in with the notion that, you know, Robin would be coming to you guys with this, or was that kind of like new for you?
That was totally new for me. Totally new. I don't want to say blindsided for lack of a better term, but I don't know if I would have maybe tried to restructure that advance prior to had I known. So I'm somewhat glad that I didn't know, but at the same time, this show could have been taken a totally different route had I known. So
What did you think when you guys were first there all together and she brings this up? Like, what are your first thoughts as you're kind of like sitting there like, oh,
my first thought was she don't know what any of these women are thinking or have to say about her. I think that this is premature in her asking these women to do this, because I knew from earlier when we had gotten together before we got together for the dinner, that there was some discrepancies within the group. And I didn't know how that would fare when Robin brought that, to the table. And so I was thinking, you got to know your personnel. In any arena, you got to know who you're dealing with. And Robin barely knew me. So to bring me to the table and ask me to join this army, I was just kind of like, okay, I'm always down for a good collaboration, because collaborating is my thing. But that, it was rough.
What did you make of the dynamics between what the other relationships were with Robin? Because I felt like you're kind of watching this almost like we, the audience, were. So what were your thoughts as these things are occurring?
Oh, goodness, because you guys saw like maybe 15, 20 minutes. We were there for 2 hours, right? So we're there for a couple hours, and it's and I come into the situation like, oh, this is going to be great. We're about to have drinks. Look, those kids are at home. I got a free mom's night out. This is going to be good. But then as things started, as personalities started to be revealed, it's like, well, wait a minute. This doesn't sound like the fun girls' night out that I thought it might be. And so as tempers flared and TIANA stated her discrepancy or her odds with Robin, and then Kira got into, I was like, wait. I almost felt like, let me go back to try to rectify the situation, put this kid over here, put that kid over there, because it's just like, not that they're children, but because I wasn't expecting.
Right.
So it was tough. It was just shocking. It came from left field, and I was not ready for it at all.
I do have to ask this. What was your opinion about the unfollowing situation with Robin and Crystal unfollowing Kira? Because I think the audience, we were like, I get it. I get why it's an issue, because I understand social media, right?
Yeah.
But was that really? Did we ever get to why they unfollowed her?
I don't think we got to why they unfollowed her. My initial reaction to that was, I know Kira. I know Kira better than some of the other ladies. And so I have never seen her upset in that manner. And so when it came down to the unfollow or the situation, I think that there was more to it than what was shown on television. Right. But I will say this, I didn't know that was a thing, and I've learned that the unfollow is a thing. I'm in my late 30s, so I don't know what's a thing or not when it comes to social media. I'm not really like the influencer type, but you know, it's a thing, and you have to be sensitive to people who hold that, you know, in the highest light. So
I totally understand that. I said the same thing. At first, I didn't get it, but then I thought about it more. I was like, to some people, that is gonna mean something.
yeah, and it meant something to Kira, and I think that once Robin figured out that it meant something to Kira, then she was a little bit, you know, more sensitive to it.
I do have another sort of story point or storyline sort of question to ask you. What did you make of the situation with Kira and Crystal sort of asking for Kira's business in terms of her clothings? To me and to the audience, it felt like that seems a little shady, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know I don't know the real estate game like that. So what can you is there etiquette to that?
Okay, so to answer that question, there's no real etiquette to asking for someone's business. So you can go to any closing attorney that you choose. I just think the intention was not good when it came down to Crystal going after Kira's business. I do believe that there is enough to go around, but
Right.
I don't believe that Crystal's intention was good, which makes the situation wrong and messy.
That's the general sense that that's how it felt through the screen. That's all I can say.
Okay, because I don't
without
know.
knowing, without us knowing, like, because I had never heard of I didn't know what a closing attorney did before. It never occurred to me that there are all these aspects to real estate, and a lot of us are just learning about them. So when we saw it, it was like, oh, this feels a little odd.
Yeah, because you don't really want to. So there's etiquette to stepping on people's. You don't ever want to step on people's toes.
Right.
Kira is exclusive to Tiffany and her law firm, and whereas like myself, Tiffany is my preferred closing attorney, and I'm sure Kira has worked with other attorneys. I work with a lot of different attorneys. I have two primary attorneys, Tiffany being number one. And so when it came down to Kira, then it's just like Kira has always rocked with who she's gonna rock with. Whereas like, you know, for me, I've been in the industry a little bit longer, and I understand the ins and outs of it. And it just, you know, Kira is Tiffany girl, and Tiffany is my girl as well. And I have no problem doing business with Crystal, but again, it just goes back to alignment. How, you know, you're an extension of me. So if you're an extension of me, then in your personal and professional life, we have to at least have some things that make us similar.
I got you.
Okay.
I do have a question, because what we have gotten a lot from you specifically is a lot, and not to say that from the other ladies, not so much, but we've seen you in situations where you've had to deliver not the most pleasant news to some of your clients.
Yeah.
Is that common in the real estate industry? And how do you gauge how to do so without pissing them off? Because we've also seen, whereas Robin has had an issue, issues as well, and they didn't work out as well with her client initially, but she turned it around in the end. So how do you manage that?
So that's interesting, because I think because it's typical, it's becoming more and more common, especially going through our industry within a pandemic. So having to deliver not so great news, it's a part of the game. A lot of people want to get into it because they see these big commissions, but then there's the pressure, and then there's the thing that you have to deal with. you got to deal with the good just like you have to deal with the bad or the challenges that come with it. And the pendulum swings both ways, you know, because you're going to, you know, you may close a big deal at the same time. There's a reason why you earn the close. And I'm in this business to earn the close. So I understand that it just comes with the territory whenever I do have to deliver that news. So with some of my clients, you can be buying a multi-million-dollar property. But once we get to the closing table and once we solidify the deal, guess what? I've earned the close. I don't want you to give me anything. So I want to be able to say that, yeah, I delivered that news and it was tough for me. But that's the whole reason why, you know, I'm as successful as I am, because we got through the process. So it can be hard to deliver that news at times.
Is there anything coming up in the next couple of episodes, or has there been anything that has made you like cringe, like, oh my God, like either I cannot believe I did that or I cannot believe that happened?
So I'm not, you know, I have to let you guys watch and see what's going to happen, but I do have to tell you that I am anxious about this Friday's episode, because you will see a different side of me. And I don't know how much they're going to share, but there was a situation that made me cringe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I am excited and intrigued all at the same time. Okay. I have two other kind of interesting questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Reunion. Will we get a reunion?
Let me tell you, I'm not at this salon for no reason, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Okay. Oh. I am in mommy mode. I am in the back room of a salon, and that is all I'm going to say about it, because I got things to do this week. That's it.
You know what's funny? You know what? I didn't ask the right questions initially. I didn't say, girl, why are you at the salon? I just thought you was getting your hair done.
No, look, why are you at the salon knowing you got an interview? Listen, it's for a good reason, okay?
Okay.
So I can give the people what they need. Okay.
Okay. So my other question is, and it won't have to be specific to the reunion, but just like a lot of people get asked this question, and it's kind of an interesting question that I don't really ask a lot of people. How do you determine what you wear in your interviews?
Whew, okay. The interview situation was a big deal because we didn't determine anything. We literally would buy or go and send pictures and videos, thousands of them, it seemed. Buy stuff, send it back. They would say no. They would say no to 99% of the things that we would present. And they were like, no, you can't do that. It would have to be hair that they approve. And now that they've seen, you know, how we dress, or at least, you know, have a good idea, then they're like, okay, you're good. It's fine. You don't have to send us your outfits 5 days in advance so that we can change it. It's like now the day before, or what are you wearing? Kind of give us some idea. And so that's what it is now.
Okay. Because a lot of people will, and we had somebody here who say, "Love your style, TIANA." So I was like,
"Oh, thank you, Natalie."
Yeah, we never asked that question a lot of times, and I know how it goes behind the scenes, but a lot of times the audience does it. So
that's true.
It's good to hear it from you. Like, there is a process that starts kind of early for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's definitely a process. So we pick the things that we like, and then they narrow it down. They cut stuff more times than not, and the more you're with production or the network, then the more they're a little bit more flexible, because then you get what they're looking for, but you're also able to tailor it to your own style.
Okay. I do have a quick viewer question who asks, would it have been better if Crystal had went to Tiffany to talk to her about going to Kira before reaching out directly to Kira, or would that ever happen?
I think that communication is always key. I think that would have been a much better approach. Absolutely.
Okay,
Because
cool.
then it shows that you're extending yourself beyond, the professional realm. It's like, hey, let's just have a talk about it. And then they can share, how that could work out. And then Crystal could have gone from there.
Okay. And my final question to you is, would you do a season 2?
You guys will just have to stay tuned. You're all in my business. I gotta go and make sure these kids are good, make sure this husband is okay. And you jump into look. We can't have that discussion today. But I'm at the salon and considering things and how that would work for my family and our lifestyle. So.
Okay. Well, I had to ask. I have to ask the question.
Absolutely. It depends on what do they want me for season 2? Does your audience, would you want to see me in a season 2? I'm kind of the boring one, don't you think? I don't bring as much excitement as some of these ladies.
No. I think everybody wants you back. Okay.
Thank you.
Y'all honestly have what I would consider a perfect cast of people of different dynamics. And I think that is what makes it so magical, is that we see so many different types of people, and you guys really just represent an aspirational and like Black excellence to me. And I think that's what is resonating with the show. So I wanted to say thank you for that.
Oh, no, thank you. That was the purpose. I know that there's a lot of drama that, that may have come with it. But I think that once we get through a lot of this stuff, we're a dysfunctional family. Mm-hmm. And, it's going to take us to mend certain areas and forgive in certain areas for us to come together. Once we come together, we'll be stronger than ever. And we'll be able to really shine our light in the industry and in our culture.
Absolutely. And TIANA, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell people where they can find you and any other things you have going on before you go?
So you can find me on Instagram at TIANA Harrison _Lux Partners. You can find me on Twitter at _TIANA Harrison, or that might be at TIANA Harrison _ I don't know. I don't Twitter that well, but I'm trying to get into it. And TIANA Harrison on LinkedIn and of the sort. And then what else did you ask me, Richie? What's to come?
There you go. What's to come?
What's to come? So I have some things in the works. I'm planning on definitely getting my broker's license, whether that will be in a greater capacity or not. I hope that you will follow my journey with Macedonia Park. I know that you guys didn't hear anything about that, but it's the name of my company. I have partners that I work with. It's one of those lost African-American cities in Atlanta. And if you're familiar with Atlanta and know Buckhead, they displaced a thriving group of African-American community there. And so, we're going to get all into the historical aspects of real estate in Atlanta and why it's such an amazing journey for all 6 of us women. And so just stay tuned because we have some things in the works. And again, I'm so happy and thankful that you invited me on, Richie Skye. It's been a pleasure.
Listen, you have to come back when you guys want to promote something else. Don't hesitate. And we will definitely have you back on here because the community loves you. So thank you again for taking out time in your day. And you can go back to mommy duties. And we will catch you on this week's episode.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, don't judge me this week. Just know that I'm working through all sincerity and trying to make sure that all of us are doing what we need to do to inspire and motivate the masses. I'm so proud of your journey into the real estate realm. So yes, stay tuned. Thank you so much. Ladies Who List, Friday at 9 p.m. on OWN Eastern Standard Time.
Y'all heard it here first. TIANA, thank you. And we will see you on TV.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.